Welcome to AI Capabilities. What Claude does. Over the next 20 to 25 minutes, I am going to take you through everything I learned during 1 month of researching and testing Claude across 6 different areas. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Claude works, watch it build real things in real time, and see how Omniacs DAO can use it to grow. Let us get into it. Here is where we are going. 6 parts. We start with the basics, how prompting works, because everything builds on it. Then we build, run your business, create content, and put it all together. We end with 3 specific ideas Omniacs DAO can act on right now. If you have never used Claude before, this will change how you think about what is possible. If you already use it, I promise you will leave with techniques you have not tried yet. Before we dive in, why does any of this matter? 3 reasons. First, one person with Claude can do what used to require a full team. Research, design, code, writing, analysis, all of it from a single conversation. Second, Omniacs DAO is already building with AI. Every X402 endpoint is a pay-per-use AI service. We must understand Claude. It is essential. Third, this research is a consulting product. Everything you see, you can teach clients. This presentation is the curriculum. And before anyone says, is this really being used by serious organizations? Yes. Cognizant deployed Claude to 350,000 staff. Accenture trained 30,000 employees on it. Spotify engineers stopped writing code by hand in December 2025. Every feature, every PR is now Claude-generated and human-reviewed. Anthropic ships 10 to 30 pull requests per day per engineer, and 90% of Claude code is written by Claude Code itself. 7 in 10 Fortune 100 companies have active Claude deployments, and Emergent, an Indian AI startup, hit $25 million in annual recurring revenue in 5 months, powered entirely by Claude. This is not an experiment. This is infrastructure. The base. I'm covering this before any demos, because once you understand prompting, every demo you see will hit 10 times harder. You will understand exactly why the output looks the way it does. Every strong Claude prompt has 4 things: context, who you are, and what your situation is right now. Role, who you are asking Claude to be. Constraints, what Claude should not do. And output format, exactly how the response should be structured. Miss one, and the output gets weaker. Include all 4, and you get professional, usable results on the first try. Let me show you exactly what context does. Weak prompt. Write a report on our product. What does Claude do? It invents the most generic corporate language possible. Our product is powerful. It could be for any company in the world. Now watch strong version. You are a business analyst at Omniacs DAO. A Web3 startup offers pay-per-use AI services on the X402 protocol. Write a 1-page product overview for enterprise clients unfamiliar with crypto. Save money compared to traditional API subscriptions. Suddenly, Claude knows who it is, what the product is, who the reader is, and what angle to take. Every sentence it writes now serves a purpose. Role changes everything. Claude hedges without a role. Review this smart contract for problems, and you get the smart contract looks generally fine. That output is useless. It feels thorough, but gives you nothing to act on. Add a role. Act as a senior Solidity security auditor with 5 years of DeFi experience, and the output transforms. Critical. Re-entrancy risk, high. Unchecked return value, medium. Missing 0 address check. That is what a specialist actually sounds like. The role told Claude what lens to use, what depth was expected, and what vocabulary was appropriate. Constraints sound limiting, but they create precision. Without them, Claude writes for an imaginary average reader, at an average length, in an average format. You spend more time editing than it would take to write it yourself. Add 3 simple constraints. Up to 3 sentences. No crypto jargon. And end with one reason they should care. And the output is exactly the right length, exactly the right tone, ready to use immediately. Each constraint removed one decision Claude would have made badly without your input. Final pillar, format. Without a format instruction, Claude defaults to flowing prose, the hardest format to scan, compare, or act on. You ask it to analyze 3 competitors, and you get 5 paragraphs of text, where the 2 facts you actually needed are buried somewhere in the middle. Specify a table with exact column names, company name, pricing, target customer, top feature, key weakness, and the output is immediately usable. You can paste it straight into a strategy document. Format is not cosmetic. It determines whether the output is useful at all. Part 2. Building things. Games, full apps, websites, and coding without coding. Everything in this section was built from a single sentence. No developer, no frameworks, just a prompt. Let's start games. 3 crypto games, each built in under 5 minutes. Blockchain memory match. You flip cards to match crypto pairs. Built in 2 minutes with 1 sentence. Crypto words scramble. Fix them before time. A live price chart moves up and down, and you decide when to sell to maximize your profit. This one actually teaches crypto thinking while you play. Each one was built from one prompt typed into Claude. No code was written manually. None. Here's a demo of blockchain memory match. As you can see, it just uses 1 sentence. 1 single prompt, and the prompt is, build a crypto-themed memory match card game as a single HTML file. Each pair of crypto terms and symbols, flip animation, move counter, timer, win screen, dark theme, Omniacs DAO branding. As you can see, the build time is less than 2 minutes, and the principle we are testing here is context and constraints. So, after running, we can see the game now live. Here is the memory match game in action. Watch the flip. The flips are smooth and polished, exactly as described in the prompt. The move counter tracks every flip. The timer is running. When you find a match, the cards stay face up. It was built from 1 sentence. 1. Not a template, not a toolkit. Claude wrote every line of this from scratch. This is now hodl or sell. And again, we just use 1 single sentence of prompt. Here, the principle we tested was context and constraints. Watch price chart. It moves in real time with random changes. You have 60 seconds to maximize your portfolio. You choose when to buy, hold, or sell. This is more than a game. It's a teacher. Anyone playing this for 5 minutes understands crypto price psychology better than a page of text could ever explain it. And it was built in under 3 minutes. Claude is just amazing. So here, we also built 2 live demos you can interact with right now. Crypto quiz. 8 questions covering USDC, DeFi, X402, DAOs, and blockchain. Our X402 Analytics dashboard is a live interface showing API calls by product, USDC revenue, wallet activity, and an AI weekly summary. Both are live at the link on screen. You can go there right now in another tab and use them. Very enjoyable. Games impress, but Claude keeps going further. Personal Finance Dashboard tracks income, expenses, and savings goals with interactive charts built in 2 minutes. Describe the photo, the AI search system finds it. Built in 4 minutes. Hype Man Chatbot, an AI persona that responds to everything with maximum enthusiasm. 2 minutes. These are not demos or prototypes, they are working, deployable applications. Here is the bigger picture. Building needs no skill. It is clarity of thought. Hiring a developer used to take days or weeks. Now, minutes. You used to need to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, choose what? Photo organization that would take a full afternoon, 30 seconds. Validating 16 app ideas that would take weeks of research, 70 minutes. Any team member, not just developers, can now build tools, automate tasks, and ship products. That changes everything about how Omniacs DAO can operate. Part 3. Running your business. Workflows, automation, and a developer's full working day. Claude does not just build things, it also runs entire workflows that used to require a team. 70% of Fortune 100 companies now use Claude. This is what they use it for. Competitor research. You give it a URL and get back a structured report with pricing, target audience, key differentiators, and 3 weaknesses you could exploit. Contract review. Paste any contract and get back every unusual clause, every missing protection, every red flag, in 30 seconds. Weekly digest. Claude reads your Discord activity log and API call data and writes a 1-page summary for your community every Monday automatically. For Omniacs DAO specifically, Discord summaries, DAO proposals, weekly revenue reports, all of this can be automated through Claude. Let me show you a developer's day with Claude. At 9 a.m., describe the feature simply. Claude breaks it into tasks, flags edge cases, and suggests architecture before you write a single line. 9:15. You ask it to create an X402 endpoint that takes a question. Claude generates the file structure, boilerplate, API schema, and README in one shot. 10 a.m. Add authentication, rate limiting, and error handling. Claude writes changes across multiple files simultaneously. 11 a.m. Paste the error message. Claude traces it through your entire codebase, finds the root cause, and implements the fix. 2 p.m. Audit this code for security vulnerabilities. Claude finds SQL injection risks, missing authentication checks, exposed keys. 3 p.m. Commit and write a PR description. From idea to shipped feature in just 1 day. Next, Claude agents, the next level. An agent is not a single prompt. It is Claude, running autonomously, completing multi-step tasks, making decisions, using tools, and delivering results without you being involved at each step. You set the task once. Claude does the work. Agents can read files, search the web, write code, call APIs, send reports, all without human input mid-task. Weekly DAO Digest agent. Every Monday at 8 a.m. Reads Discord, pulls API data, writes the report, posts it to Slack, or any communication channel we use. Zero human input. Competitor monitoring agent checks 5 websites daily, emails you any changes. Code review agent opens a PR, reads the diff, writes a review. Support triage reads tickets, drafts responses, escalates critical issues. All of this could be running for Omniacs DAO by the end of this month. Part 4. Creating and researching. Content, creative writing, and research. Every result you see arrives in under a minute. No research assistant, no copywriter, just a prompt. Twitter threads. 5 tweets explaining X402 to someone who has never heard of crypto. Plain analogies, no jargon, ready to post. Voice DNA. Claude studies your writing samples and pulls out your exact voice, sentence rhythm, preferred words, and words you avoid into a reusable profile. Market research. Your top 5 competitors, what they offer, their pricing, users, and one strength each. Idea validation. Is this idea worth building? Claude researches whether it already exists, who the target users are, and whether there is a real gap. All of this in under 2 minutes. Now I'll show you how wide it goes. Design your room from a photo. Upload an image. Claude produces a full redesign with furniture placement, color palette, mood board, and shopping list. Write a full song. Describe a feeling. Claude writes lyrics, chords, tempo, production. Art direction for AI image tools. Claude acts as your creative director, writing detailed prompts for Midjourney or DALL-E. Plan an entire novel. Claude tracks characters, plot threads, and world building across 300 pages. Suggest recipes from your fridge. Photograph the inside of your fridge, and Claude gives you 3 recipes using only what is in there. Build a personalized fitness plan, a 6-week progressive training program with sets, reps, and nutrition. And on the professional side, build animated videos from a text description. In a published study, Claude matched specialist-level accuracy on over 60% of complex radiology cases. Control your computer on your own. Claude Computer Use runs a full desktop, clicking, typing, navigating software, and finishing tasks end-to-end. World's best coding model. 70% of developers now prefer Claude for coding. Real-time travel translation. Point your phone at any sign or menu abroad, and Claude translates it with cultural context. Legal contract review in 30 seconds. And then, there are the fields nobody expects. Personalized AI tutor. Claude adapts in real time to what you know. Farmers photograph a diseased leaf, then get a treatment plan with pesticide names. Generate floor plans from words. Describe a house, and Claude returns dimensions and structural considerations. Structured mental health journaling. Used by therapists as a between-sessions CBT tool. Sports performance analysis. Paste a match report and get tactical adjustments. Parenting difficult conversations. Claude writes age-appropriate scripts for talking to children about death, divorce, and racism. Watch this. I typed one prompt. I want an Afrobeat song with mid-tempo, confident energy, about feeling unstoppable after hard times. And within 60 seconds, Claude returned a full set of lyrics. Intro, 2 verses, chorus, bridge, and outro. And it kept going. Chord progression in C major, tempo at 96 BPM, recommended key, and a full production brief describing the instruments, the arrangement, and the energy of the drop. From nothing to a full song, fast. Now, watch the fitness plan. I gave Claude my age, my goals, my available days, and my equipment. What came back was a complete 6-week progressive training plan. As you can see, it is divided into weeks across 6 weeks. Each and every day is a different program. The 6-week progressive training plan came with every session, every exercise, the sets, reps, and the rest times. It includes a rest day, what you can do then, and a nutrition summary each day. This is the kind of plan a trainer charges hundreds for. But Claude produced it in under 2 minutes. And this is not generic. It is specific to the exact constraints that I gave it. It even lists nutrition and calories. It is very versatile, and as you can see, it even gives you, maybe we should do it this way. And as you can see, it is very well rounded. This is what Claude does. This one is genuinely surprising, even if you know what is coming. I uploaded a photo of a living room and asked Claude to act as an interior designer. It analyzed the lighting, the current layout, the style, and then it produced a complete redesign, new furniture placement, a full color palette with hex codes, mood board description, an estimated budget range, and a shopping list with 5 specific product recommendations. In under 2 minutes, one photo becomes a full brief. As you can see, the estimated budget is in my local currency. You can see the shopping list, the key pieces that Claude has recommended. I photographed the inside of my fridge and asked Claude to act as a professional chef. It identified every single ingredient visible, and then suggested 3 complete recipes using only what was there. Each one came with the dish name, the cooking time, step-by-step instructions, and one specific tip to make it taste better. And this is Claude's vision capability combined with its knowledge. It looks at your food and tells you what to cook. We can call it Claude Cook. Art direction. I asked Claude to act as a creative director and generate mid-journey prompts for an Omniacs DAO hero image. What came back were 3 completely different visual directions, each with style references, lighting, color palette, composition, and aspect ratio. These are clear descriptions. Ready? Prompts. You feed directly into an image generation tool. Claude as creative director, Image AI as the renderer. As you can see, the prompt is already there, and you have a copy button. You just copy the prompt and go to Midjourney AI, and you just paste it there, and then it generates the exact image exactly as Claude has helped you come up with it. Here we have novel planning. I described a thriller set in the world of Web3 and DeFi. Claude built the entire story structure. 3 main characters, with full backstories. A 12-chapter plot outline, with a preview of each and every chapter. The central conflict, the twist, the resolution. Even a working title and a 1-sentence pitch for publishers. This is what a professional story editor produces over days, but Claude did it in 5 minutes. Writers who use Claude for this report, it actually holds the entire story in context and never contradicts earlier decisions. That is, if you are following up with the same prompt, continuing to build on from this story, it will give you precisely what it gave you earlier. It will not go out of context. Here we have, this one is deeply human. A parent needs to explain death to a 5-year-old who just lost her grandmother. I gave Claude the scenario and asked for a script. In language a 5-year-old understands, no euphemisms, including what to say if she asks where grandma went, and how to respond if she cries or gets angry. What came back was very thoughtful, age-appropriate, and immediately usable. This is not information you easily find, but Claude produces it in under 2 minutes. AI Tutor. A 14-year-old struggling with algebra. They understand addition and subtraction, but they lose confidence the moment letters appear. Claude begins again. It uses real-world examples, checks understanding after each step, then moves on. This adapts in real time. If the student says they do not understand, Claude changes the explanation, the analogy, and the level of detail. This is genuinely personalized education at a scale no human teacher can match. As you can see, it will iterate. If the child doesn't understand this example, tell them. Then they'll try a different way to solve it until they understand. After that, you can tailor it exactly to what the child needs. And we ask it, and Claude will produce exactly how you want it. How you ask it is how it will give it to you. Here is a sports analysis. I pasted a match report, and Claude returned the top 3 defensive weaknesses exposed, the top 2 attacking patterns that worked, 1 specific tactical adjustment for next week, a note for 1 underperforming player's coach, and a prediction for the next opponent based on their last 3 results. This is what a data analyst and a coaching team produce over hours. Claude does it in under 3 minutes. It is very impressive. Now watch Claude build a video script. I asked for a 45-second animated explainer for X402 protocol. Claude returned a structured script, broken into 5 time sections: hook, problem, solution, how it works, and call to action. Each with the on-screen text, the voiceover line, and a visual direction note for the animator. This is ready. Give this to a video editor or an AI video tool, and it renders immediately. Even better, I rendered it with Claude, and as you can see, it produces exactly as I asked. The hook, the problem, the solution, how it works, and you can see the call to action. And the on-screen text. The voiceover line is still there, and a visual direction note for the animator. Everything is there, and it proves it works. Legal contract review. 30 seconds. Paste any contract, employment agreement, NDA, service contract, and Claude identifies every unusual clause, every missing protection, payment terms, termination rights, IP ownership, liability caps, and red flags. So I pasted a PDF here and asked Claude to check for the constraints I specified. And this is what you do before signing anything. A lawyer would charge hundreds for this review, but Claude does it in 30 seconds. You can see, it tells you the critical, the high risk, and where there is weakness in the contract. And it also still identifies the positive things. It will still find them. But as you can see, our contract had a lot of red flags, and it tells you everything and tells you why. And that is Claude for you. Watch Claude build a complete Node.js payment endpoint. The prompt said, accept a post request with a wallet address and query. Charge 0.01 USDC. Call Claude now. Return the response. Add error handling, comments. One file. It returned production-ready code. Complete. Commented. With error handling. This is exactly the kind of endpoint that powers every product on the X402 platform, and it was generated in under 60 seconds. As you can see, the endpoint shows the request flow. It tells you everything, the key design decisions. It tells you everything that you need to know, and it even tells you how to run it. It gives you specific instructions on how to make the code work. It taught you how to run it. The libraries needed to run it. Travel translation. I uploaded a menu image, imagining I am a tourist in Japan. And Claude returned every item on the menu, with the English name, the price converted to USD, and one sentence on what it actually tastes like, and whether a Western tourist would enjoy it. It also flagged ingredients that people commonly dislike in their culture. And that is Claude's vision capability, plus its cultural knowledge in under 30 seconds. It is not just translation. Cultural context matters. It tells you the money. It tells you how it is perceived by the locals and whether it will be liked by the tourists. It tells you what is worth trying and what you should know before you order. Part 5. Putting it all together. Everything you have seen in the last 20 minutes came from prompts. Let me show you the exact structure behind them. 3 pillars. Context. The more specific, the more targeted the output. Generic context produces generic responses. Output format. Specify exactly how the response should be structured, and it comes back usable immediately. No reformatting. Constraints. Tell Claude exactly where the boundaries are, and it stays on target every time. These 3 pillars are the difference between getting something useful on the first try and spending 20 minutes editing a response that missed the point. Obviously, there is a role too, but these 3 are the effective pillars of prompting. Here are 3 real prompts from this research with the actual outputs. Tool prompt, build a crypto memory match game. Output, a fully playable browser game, live right now at our GitHub pages link. Content prompt, write a 5-tweet thread explaining X402, no jargon, call to action. Output 5 tweets under 280 characters each, using a vending machine analogy, ready to post. Workflow prompt, write a weekly DAO digest from this Discord log and API data. Output, a structured one-page report with wins, issues, and one recommended action, reusable every Monday with no additional effort. And finally, how did this presentation get built? I spent days researching Claude's capabilities across 6 categories, testing prompts, writing detailed notes for each section. I structured that research into a document and gave Claude specific instructions on how to organize it. It helped me arrange the content into the presentation you are watching right now. I reviewed each and every slide, corrected the narrative, and made every creative and strategic decision. The design system, the color palette, the branding, those are mine. Claude confirmed my knowledge. This is the skill this presentation is teaching. Part 6. The so what. What does all of this mean specifically for Omniacs DAO? 3 things we can act on right now. 1. A Claude-powered onboarding bot. New members ask Claude questions about X402, the DAO, products. It is built in one session, hosted as an Omniacs DAO endpoint. Costs 1 cent per question, and pays for itself. Available 24/7, with no human input required. 2. Weekly AI-generated DAO digest. Every Monday, Claude reads Discord activity, API call data, and wallet metrics, then writes a 1-page summary for the community. 0 human effort after initial setup. 3. AI Consulting Starter Kit. Package this presentation, the live demos, and a prompt library into a workshop product. Charge clients to come. Research complete. Product already exists. This research month becomes a direct revenue stream. And to prove that Omniacs DAO can consult across any industry, here is what that looks like. For a restaurant, Claude optimizes the menu based on sales data and audits food hygiene compliance. For a law firm, it summarizes 40-page contracts into 1-page partner briefs and audits NDAs for one-sided clauses. For a healthcare clinic, it writes patient communication templates and converts handwritten consultation notes into structured records. We are not just saying Claude can be useful to businesses. We are showing up with the specific prompts that solve the specific problems each business already has. Sorry, we are showing up with the specific prompts that solve the specific problems each business already has. For e-commerce, Claude reviews 200 customer comments, then finds the top complaints and improvement opportunities. It writes SEO-optimized product copy with calls to action. For real estate, compelling property listings and 1-page market summaries. For education, complete 45-minute lesson plans and end-of-term parent reports. Every industry, every function, one tool. So here is the full consulting curriculum. 6 modules. Prompt engineering basics, 2 hours. Building tools without a developer, 3 hours. Automating business workflows, 2 hours. Claude for development teams, 3 hours. Claude agents, hands-off automation, 2 hours. AI strategy for your organization, 2 hours. 14 hours. This is a real product. We built it this month. Month 1. Quick wins. 3 things by month end. the onboarding bot, weekly DAO digest, and AI consulting starter kit. Each one needs one afternoon, a Claude API key, and the right prompt. All three are already designed. All three are ready to deploy. By month 3, we have Compound Systems. A competitor monitoring agent checks 5 websites daily and sends you what changed. The endpoint idea pipeline checks every new X402 idea before development starts. Research, gap analysis, competitor check in under 3 minutes. And auto-generated front-end. Every new endpoint gets a demo UI built by Claude in under 5 minutes. Consistent branding, ready to show clients the same day it is built. The same day it is built. By month 6, Omniacs DAO operates at 3 times output with the same headcount. 5 or more agents running around the clock. 0 manual reports. Every digest is written by Claude. Each person gets 3 outputs. Compound value grows longer. Agents run operations. Humans set the direction. And that is the organization we are building toward. Claude is not just a chatbot, it is the fastest way to build, research, create, and automate. The prompt sells. Master it, and the output is unlimited. Everything you saw in this video, the games, the apps, the dashboards, the demos, the consulting curriculum, this presentation itself, it all came from prompts. That's it. You now know how to write. If you found this useful, subscribe to our channel. We are posting everything we learn, the research, the tools, the workflows. If you want to learn this well, reach out to us. This is what we do. And thank you so much for watching.